What is up, guys? I'm Speo and I'm back. I finished all my exams and now I can finally return to music making and tutorial recording. So to start off, I'm gonna do something a little bit more simple and light to get back into it. So we're gonna build a setup that'll allow us to easily resample stuff that we play out in Reason right into Kong, and we can then sequence out a cool beat using just Kong. So I'm going to show you how that's done. First up, I'm just going to chuck in a Kong drum designer. I'm going to load up one of my favorite kits, which is the Kong kit Charus Basic 1. And we're going to just quickly add a little bit of an 808 tail to that kick by chucking in a tone generator and bringing down the pitch all the way, giving it some decay as well. A lot better. Next up, I'm gonna chuck in an ID8. Now you could use anything right now, but I'm just gonna use an ID8 piano. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna sample that piano right into the Kong, so we can then focus on jamming out a cool beat using just the Kong. You might want to do this if you want to have like a cool drum machine feel, but you also want to do this if you're not that good on the piano and wanna change things up a bit. So I'm gonna flip the rack around right here and disconnect the sampling input and the audio input right here. So the sampling input is free, and then I'm going to take the control room out, which is basically the same output as the master out, and I'm going to route it into the sampling out input. Now everything that we play in Reason can be sampled right back into it, and we're going to do this now by selecting a pad right here on the Kong, and I'm going to hit this little button right up here. You want to hit the upper one, not the lower one, because then you just add another hit to the nano, but if you use the upper one, it'll replace the one that's in it. So we'll hit this little button, which lets us sample something into it. And as you see, I've got my ID8 selected in the sequencer. So if I now hit the button, I can play the ID8 and it'll sample right into the Kong. There you go. Let's do a couple more. And some other chords as well. I'm just sampling some chords in here. Sweet. Now we can select the Kong in our sequencer and we can jam out with the piano chords that we've just recorded into the Kong. What we might want to do though is assign a mute group to all these piano pads so they mute each other when a new one is played and they don't get all mushy. So let's select mute group A for all 4 of these pads. There you go. Yeah, and there you have it basically. Now you can jam out a cool beat with the piano chords that you've resampled into the Kong, and it gives that nice hip-hop feel to it when you can actually play those back using MIDI pads or, well, the pads on the Kong. So let's try to record something. Probably out of rhythm here after all the exam stress and shit, but gotta be good enough. So there you go, that's how you resample stuff out of Reason and right back into Reason using the control room out of the master section and routing it into the sampling input of the audio interface. I hope this tutorial was useful, and there's of course much more to come, also more in-depth sound design tutorials. This was just a little warm-up for the tutorials to come over the next month. But I'm back, so there's that. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you next time.